Hey, I'm Emma Mitchell. I'm an energy healing guide. And today, on this episode of Spirit Stories, I want to talk to you about a few frequently asked questions I get about energy work and psychic abilities. So, first question I get often or surprised from people is, how do you know if you have psychic abilities? Well, there's several ways. One, you may have dreams about your loved ones that have passed away. Like they tell you specific things about your life or give you advice, or you just have a strong sense that they're there with you. That's actually them visiting you. You may have strong, vivid dreams that have symbols, messages for your life, and you have them often, or you have premonitions in your dreams. Those are all ways to know that you're psychic. You may have several instances of deja vu, and it happens often. You may also just have a strong knowing that something's going to happen. You may see spirits. And also, you may just have had a lot of people tell you that you're psychic. I have a ton of meditations for free on my YouTube page and my Insight Timer page that if you can do those, for sure you have psychic abilities. Finally, if you meditate and you see visions or images or hear voices, have, voices in your head, smell things while you're having visions, those are all abilities as well. So most people have these abilities in one way or another. You may just not be tuned in so much to what they are or how you can work with them. That leads me to the next question. What's the point of having psychic abilities? Why should you care? Well, some psychic trainings really teach you how to, work with your spirit guides and angels and get information about the future. The way that I teach people how to use their abilities is not only to talk to your departed loved ones or get information about your future, but it's really to help yourself heal. So we pair psychic abilities with energy healing abilities, and it's to help you to connect with your inner knowing, your spirit helpers, to get messages about your life path. So more about this season of life rather than future, 20 years from now season of life. Additionally, it helps you to start really trusting yourself, trusting what the universe, what source, what spirit has going for you, and gives you a lot more hope about your life. So, for example, several years ago, I kept getting all these messages about moving out to Eagle County, which is where we live now. At the time, I didn't know anything. We were actually trying to move somewhere else, and you may have heard this story before. But in that transitional time, we didn't have anything concrete. Nothing was saying, oh, my boyfriend was going to get a job. Nothing was really leading us to this move, but I kept getting these messages, these visions, this important information, and it helped to really ground me because I was having a real hard time with it. I didn't renew my lease on my apartment. I moved back in with my dad for a couple months in Michigan, and it all came to fruition. But I really was hopeful that we were hitting walls trying to move somewhere else, and knowing we were moving into this transition and getting the messages about the transition did give me peace of mind and help me through some really hard navigation times. So for you, you may be trying to change your job or do a career change. You may be starting your own business or have your own business and want tools and wisdom about that. You may have some relationship things that you're working through, or even trying to buy a home or move somewhere else. All of this work, working with spirit guides, communicating with them, helps you to do that. But like I said, also it helps you heal to be a better, more fulfilled, happier person. Okay, the next question is, who are your spirit guides to begin with? What is a spirit guide? So spirit guide is really just a helper being that is here to, guide you on your life path. They can also help you with healing, and they will, just give you messages and support, and even maybe premonitions or deep knowing about something coming up. You have many spirit guides. And when I say many, I mean many, a lot of spirit guides. Some people have hundreds or thousands. I know I have a ton. Some of them I've not even met, or I've met, but they just help me with one specific thing. But when you start working with your guides, at least if I'm working with me, I really help you to connect with just a couple of them to make it easier. So is a spirit guide the same as an angel? Yes and no. So there are angels that can be your spirit guide as well, that can guide you on your path. They may have more healing abilities than a regular spirit guide. And also there are archangels. They can also be your spirit guide, or they can help you with certain things on your life path. Like you can call on specific archangels to help you with specific things. So if you've ever come to me for a Reiki session and I say, hey, this is the archangel that's helping you right now, that means that it's this season in your life and you can call upon them for these things that you're working through. So, several times I've guided people through working with their spirit guides, and the first, guide that comes to them is maybe an archangel, like Archangel Gabriel has come to several of my clients, and that's pretty cool. They are there to really give you that support and, level up your skill set and level up your way of being, because you may need some extra healing, some extra support in those times. Can past loved ones be spirit guides? Yes and no. So the thing that I've learned about spirit guides and our past loved ones is they can be strong guides for us. Like, for instance, my grandmother has been a guide for me, but she doesn't exactly sit in the position of a spirit guide. So she is on the other side. She helps me a lot, but she's, I don't want to say flawed, but I guess flawed like a human is. So I heard a story actually from my teacher years ago that a passed away loved one was giving one of her clients a lot of information about, you have to contact your cousin, you have to do this, you have to do this. And this person really did not want to, and felt deep within their inner wisdom that it was not the correct thing to do. So our passed away loved ones are as flawed as they are on earth. They can help us, but just keep it with a grain of salt. I was just guiding somebody through a generational clearing the other day, and his aunt and, his grandmother and his aunts came to him, and they gave him some false information. They said, no, you can't clear up this karmic thing in your life. You just have to deal with it. And I said, that's not true. I'm getting spirit guide messages that we can clear this up. So we did something, we cleared it up, and that was it. He felt it, he saw the energy move, and I said, this is a great example for you to understand that your passed away loved ones are not always in the know like your spirit guides are. Not to say that it's, not amazing to talk to your passed away loved ones, because it can be, as long as they're, they were positive in your life or positive now. They can give you a lot of great information and, guidance just like they would on this earth plane, when they were still alive. So next question. Oh, actually, this isn't even a question. This is just a story. So, if you ever had an invisible friend as a child, or if your kids have invisible friends, what I learned in my own life is that my invisible friend as a kid is actually a spirit guide. So how I found that was, I was talking about that transition through moving from, I was in Colorado Springs, moving down to Eagle County, Colorado, and I was having a really hard day one day, like at my lowest, like super, super depressed. And all of a sudden I heard this voice, and in my head, not like an actual hearing, Emma, it's me, you're gonna be okay. And then I tuned into the presence and I saw who it was, and it was my invisible friend as a kid. And I don't know, I thought I made this up because we had a boat, and the underneath the deck is called the Cuddy. So I thought I made up that name for him, but I guess that's just his name. But he came to me and he talked to me and he comforted me. And actually just the other day, I was talking to him again, and he showed me he was my guide as a kid. And so he was helping me through those transitions, as being a child, and I didn't feel so alone. We lived out in the country, and I had have a brother, but I saw all these images of me playing by myself and always seeing him or sensing him nearby me. I actually told my mom that story a couple of years ago, and she said, I do remember your invisible, you would come and say, your invisible friend said, don't do this, or you better do that, or, just giving you good wisdom and guidance as a kid. So I thought that was kind of cool, actually. I wasn't tuned into my abilities back then, so I couldn't really see things, but I could always sense ghosts and sensed him around me as well. Can your spirit guides change? Yes, I guess. So what I've noticed, just because I've been doing this since 2018, 2019 is really when I started really tapping into this. I learned that my spirit guides were several that I worked with like on a daily basis. And then once I went through my Reiki master training, so the second, or I guess it's the third level of training, I leveled up my spirit guides. And those spirit guides said, hey, now you get to work with these other spirit guides. So my first ones, or even my invisible friend one, are still with me. I can still communicate with them, but they're not here with the work that I do now. And I've actually leveled up a couple times since then, but I still do things with all sorts of guides. So if you're on the same path like I am, really tuning into your abilities, working with your guides, you will see that they'll change out. One of my clients a couple of years ago had this one lady who's, I think she was like 1800 stress or an early 1900 stress. And she helped her for a little bit. We would see her all the time. She was her traveling guide. And we did this big past life clearing. It was like a huge, huge clearing. And then my client said, that lady left. She said, this was the end. This was what she needed to help her with. And she left, and then she got another spirit guide in her place. So that was pretty cool. Actually, it was obvious that she healed something huge for herself. So yes, your spirit guides can change, but you can still work with your guides from, past years. Also, your spirit guides, they're not always looking like humans or angels. They may look like an animal. I have one client who has a fox for one of hers. Somebody the other day had a stag come to her as a guide. So they can look like animals. I've seen aliens too. I've had Pope John Paul II come to me a few times in that spirit guide position. So all sorts of beings, fairies have come to people, just all sorts of different beings can be your guides. But just know that if you are working with your spirit guides, you should recognize their feeling, know that they feel good, positive, happy, comforting energy. That is a spirit guide. If you are talking to something that you don't know what it is, if it feels negative, if you're getting really weird communication, believe me, that happened to me in the beginning because I didn't go through proper training at first. That is not a spirit guide. So don't try to tap into this stuff on your own. It can be a little bit dangerous, because you never know what could be talking to you or working with you or moonlighting as something else. So that's why when I work with my clients, I take them through a specific process. I walk them through what should always be familiar, how to get out of it if something happens. And not to scare you, because it's not scary at all, but sometimes weird stuff comes to us. It comes to me too. So just understanding the familiar feeling, what your guides look like, and how to interact with them is very important. If you ever suspect that you're speaking with something that's not on your side, or not a positive light in your life, open your eyes, call on archangels, call on Jesus. I like to call on Archangel Azrael, Ariel, Gabriel, Michael, Jesus, and God, and ask, please come to me. Please move this thing out of my space and pull your soul back into your body so that thing can't talk to you or communicate with you anymore. But really, I emphasize working with somebody who can teach you or train you on this is pretty dang important, because there are some protection tools that are are needed, I would say, just to be sure that you're communicating with positive, happy, light beings that are on your side. So once again, not trying to scare you because it's not scary at all, but you just want to be safe. Okay, so that is the conclusion of this part with spirit guides. I did want to talk just a little bit about auras. So when I do Reiki for my clients, I will always tell them their aura color. Usually it's the same, but sometimes it will change. So what is an aura color? What I've learned, at least for the auras that I see for people, your aura color is what you're working on in this lifetime. So it's usually associated with the color of a chakra. So for example, if you have a yellow aura color, this is your solar plexus, that's the yellow color. That means you're working on your confidence for this part of your life. You're working on building your self-esteem and your own internal power. If your aura color is green, that means it's associated with your heart chakra. So your relationships, being vulnerable, trusting people, and loving. Those are really big things in this, lifetime for you. So your aura color shows the good and the bad. Like for me, confidence was a really big thing in the first part of my life. And I, really struggled with self-esteem and, still do, of course, like everybody does. But when I would feel extra defensive, my aura color would change slightly. But if I was feeling really happy and bright, I would push out this like really sunshiny aura color. So if you're a yellow aura color, you probably have a lot of people drawn to your, being magnetic, but also you may repel a lot of people if you're feeling super moody or down or not confident. So when I see aura colors, either I see them in my mind's eye, like I just get a flash, like I know, hey, this is your aura color. But I also, when I talk to people's spirit guides, which is part of a Reiki session, I see their spirit guides lit up in the color of their aura. So it's pretty interesting. Nobody ever, taught me that or told me that's the way to see it. Some people do see aura colors just like out and about in the world, and they can just see, hey, you have this color of an aura. Can your aura colors change? Well, yes, they can. I actually have experienced this for myself. Like I was saying, I was a yellow aura color. A couple of years ago, all of a sudden, I started feeling like, hey, I have a green aura color all of a sudden. And I've asked my spirit guides several times, and they've said, yes, that now you're green. So now I'm a heart aura color, which is true. I'm always working on my connection and socializing and trusting people. So that can change, but like I said too, sometimes I'll see it flash. So somebody whose aura color maybe is usually blue, it's a throat chakra, and all of a sudden I see it flash blue, yellow. The next time I do a Reiki session for them, that means they've got something going on with their solar plexus that they're working on or they're trying to work through right now. So maybe they're feeling extra defensive or upset about something, but their normal color is blue, which is the throat chakra. So when we do the Reiki session, I'll clear that up from the solar plexus, and usually the color changes back. I want you to try something really fast. Just see if this works for you. Close your eyes for a second and take a deep breath in and out. And one more deep breath in and out. Now tune into your body. I'm going to ask you, what is your aura color? Now see if you feel it anywhere in your body. Like if one specific area is kind of feels like it's lighting up or kind of extra movement or just a stronger vibrational feeling. I'm going to go through the aura colors real fast here after I ask you now, with your eyes closed still, what's your aura color? Does a color flash for you? Did you just get a flash of a color in your head? One more time, what's your aura color? Okay, just maybe it didn't work for you. I just wanted to see, but I'm just going to go through the colors real fast. You can open your eyes now, but if you're watching this on video, if you're listening to this, I'll still go through it. But your crown chakra is at the top of your head. This is the purple aura color. This is like your connection to source, to spirituality, spirit. People with the purple aura color are usually, very attuned to spiritual things. Your third eye, which is above your forehead area, that is white typically. This is also connection to like more spirit stuff. I guess like people with the purple aura are more like wisdom, just really having a better understanding of the universe. The white, the third eye is more connection to ghost spirits, spirit guides, that kind of stuff. If it was blue, that's your throat chakra, so you're working on your voice, boundaries, communicating well, that kind of stuff. Your inner authority center, that's a pink. If you see pink, that's working on your inner compass, trusting yourself. Green, like I said, your heart chakra, so working on connection, friendships, trust, love. Yellow is the solar plexus, so confidence, self-esteem, your power center, also your digestive center. Orange is the sacral chakra, that is your, I just blanked. Your sacral chakra, that is your creative center, your sexual center, your reproductive center. It's also your sense of feminine and masculine power. So if you're orange, you're probably pretty creative, but you may deal with some other issues on the other side. Red is your root chakra, which is your foundations, your basic needs, food, water, shelter, safety. Even your relationships can sit there too. It's like your foundation, your stability, and it's your money. So if you don't feel grounded in life, if you had a really rough childhood, if you have a lot of anxiety, that can sometimes all be in the root chakra. Also, I see people with anger, like a lot of anger, that can sometimes stem in that root chakra as well. But of course, if you want to learn your aura color, you can connect with somebody like me who can tell you through a Reiki session or just a regular psychic medium. So I want to talk about spirits and purple auras. So just, again, this is my own experience, but after working with several people with purple auras, I have noticed that people with purple auras are light. Like they have the brightest, shiniest light if their chakras are clear. So if you can think of it like a beacon of light, and I'm sure you know somebody with a purple aura, even if you don't know that they have this, that when they're on, they're so good, they're so happy, they seem so wise, and they're just very big community, bring people together. But the issue with people with purple auras is if you have one, it's really easy to get dark energy stuck on you. So a lot of times what I'll see with people with purple auras is that those spirits, those ghosts, the nasty dark stuff loves people with purple auras because they're like a shining bright light, and darkness wants to cover that up. It's like a moth to a flame. So for people with purple auras, I highly recommend learning how to protect your own energy. And of course, I recommend this to everybody because it's just an important part of, keeping your aura field clear, keeping your chakras clear, feeling good in your body. But people with purple auras, it's very important because otherwise you probably have noticed you have more negative energy coming towards you, maybe more chaos, bad luck, heaviness in your home, heaviness on your body. So I was just talking to a friend about this today, actually, because some of my spirit stories have people on them that have lots and lots of spirits that have come to them over the years, usually not very happy ones. And it has shown to me through experience and through talking to my spirit guides about this, that people with purple auras, it just sucks those like a magnet to them. So, not everybody with those, with different, aura colors has that issue, but psychic mediums like me, people who have gifts, like if you're watching this or listening to this, you probably have these abilities as well. You may sense a lot of ghosts. You may sense that they're often around you because they love it when we have these abilities, because they know that they can come talk to us or they can interact with us on the living side, and they may have messages or they may just want to be heard or noticed or seen, just like we do in the waking world, right? We always want to be seen and heard. So if you're having those kinds of issues, please reach out to me, because you may need an energy clearing or you may need to learn how to protect your energy. But the purple auras, if you have one, I am happy for you, because you can do a really amazing things, but also that can be really challenging with just negative stuff being attracted to you. So let me make sure. Yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to cover today. Before I get going off of this, I do want to mention I have so many free meditations and ways to tune into your own abilities and heal yourself through energy clearing. So if you just want to check those out, or you can even go on my Patreon page, and I'll link to this in the notes. You can become a free member and get access to a ton of meditations, and I have a bunch of them on there too that are paid as well, and a bunch of workshops too, including one on how to talk to your own spirit guides. So the most recent one I released was about clearing your heart, finding more compassion and love for yourself, and just in general working with your spirit guides in your heart chakra to clear up some old wounds there and really figure out how to love yourself better and find more forgiveness and compassion in your life. That one is free, so find it where I just mentioned. Okay, I hope this information was helpful to you. If you have questions about any of this, please reach out, because I do like making these video or these episodes, and I sometimes forget what questions people have about, learning these things and understanding them. So, okay, have a great rest of your day.